Alright, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Overly Modern Repentance. We're gonna hop in as Eden again, and that's pretty much the new thing where we're basically doing an Eden series, but no, I'm joking. We will be getting into other characters. This is a pretty good, this is like a pretty good start. It's not great, but we do have, what's this called? Growth hormones? Yeah, growth hormones, and that's fine. Ow, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that's, like, fine. It's not great, but it's definitely okay. I did everything I could there to try to fill that fucking bone heart, but it just didn't. I tried my best. But yeah, so we're gonna play Eden just a little bit, mostly while fixing my sleep schedule and still pretty tired during the episodes, just cause like I don't know. I feel like Eden has a tendency to be like a stronger start. He can be a weaker start too, but like I don't know. He just like I'd say 50-50 really, and I'd take that 50-50 because you're 100% not going to be very strong when you start as like anyone else. Well, I mean, there's certain characters like Tainted Days and stuff, but I don't want to play as them. I mean, like if you're playing as someone like Isaac, who like yeah, he can get the D6, and that might help you be strong in the long run. It's like the start's the most boring part, and I just want to get it out of the way. So getting even like a growth hormones to start with, it really helps just for that. Anyway, moving on. The question of the day. I don't even really have one still. Yeah, I didn't think this through. I had like a topic I wanted to cover because I had something that's been like super annoying to me. But like, you know, that's not a question. It's not a question. So like I'm gonna still talk about it, but I haven't thought of the actual question yet. Because I've asked like everything. I've asked like everything. You know what? I'm gonna walk on that to get rid of the Eternal Heart because obviously we don't want that. But what is your least favorite bug? No, I'm sure there's some people out there that don't hate bugs like I do, but I hate every bug pretty much. They're all pretty equal in terms of how much I'm just completely against them existing. But I would say my least favorite bug is definitely a moth. Moths are disgusting creatures that don't deserve to be on this planet, and if you think that's rude for saying that, then you need to not get hit with a fucking chocolate milk. But no, I don't. If you think that's rude, I don't think I could care less. Okay, great. You guys got that? It was a moth. Whatever yours is, put it in the comments, please. But I'm moving on now because I want to talk about that one thing. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Wait, is this still happening? Okay, no, this bug thing is still not happening. Great. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Um, I'll be honest, I'm having some problems with the game now. And I think a lot of people have mentioned the bad parts of it. Like obviously its graphics aren't great. Not that part doesn't bother me at all. It's a game on the Switch, and truth be told, I don't really give it. I've never been one to care about graphics in a video game. I play Binding of Isaac every single day. Like I don't really care what graphics look like in video games, right? Not that Binding of Isaac didn't even have good graphics, because it kind of does, right? I mean, obviously it's just an art style having like 2D art and like pixelated and shit. However, like Pokemon has its art style and then still looks shit on top of that. I forgot to pop my prayer card. I mean, we kind of are at the point where we almost don't want more red health anyway. But yeah, so I'm noticing some problems, and there's a bunch of small ones, and I'll go into a couple of them. But then I'm gonna go into the main one that I've heard like a couple people disagree with, but I think it's so dumb to disagree with this. If you disagree with this, it means that okay, let's get into the other ones. Ready? So art pretty bad. Like the world is pretty empty, to be fair. Now also keep in mind, like no matter what I say about the game, I'm not even close to finishing it yet because I have not had the option to stream, which I hopefully will be tonight on twitch.tv/grind0_. We'll probably be continuing the story tonight. But yeah, so like there's just like a pretty empty world. The Pokemon don't really do much. They kind of just exist. Like they're there, right? But that's it. Like that's as much as they do. They just exist there. We're gonna pop this. Thank you. We were popping that to protect some deal with the Devil Chance, and we did double that because we have the expansion pack trinket, I believe it's called, which just activates a random active item effect upon using your active item. So you know, but I'm glad we got a good one. But so the biggest problem I have with the game that some people completely are like, yeah, and I think if you are a fan of this part, that's because you were never a shiny hunter to begin with, and that means like if you weren't a shiny hunter, then you should. Okay, if you've ever gotten a shiny outside of Pokemon Legends of Arceus, you'll know how great it feels. It feels really good hunting down a shiny and getting there and actually getting the shiny. It really does. Whether it takes 200 encounters like my Regirock or it's almost 6,000 like my Registeel, no matter what, it feels good because when you get it, you know you beat the odds, you played the system, and then you got it. Pokemon Legends of Arceus royally fucked up. If we're just talking about Outbreak shinies, which Outbreaks are, I won't go into too much detail in case you're worried about spoilers, but they're the shiny hunting method, okay? What you can do is, and the thing is, and some people are just gonna be like, just don't do that. Oh, just wait till we get into the odds outside of Outbreaks, all right? This is all, by the way, all this is pre shiny charm because I don't know the exact like numbers with the shiny charm and everything, but in an outbreak, before you, and just to clarify, if you increase Pokedex completion on a Pokemon, you increase the shiny odds even further, and this is for outbreaks and non-outbreaks, but basically in an outbreak you have, now these are estimates, they're off by somewhere between like 5 and 20 places, but either way it's disgusting, because normal shiny odds are 1 in 4096, okay? That's pretty fucking rare, I would say. I mean, that's, you know, that's definitely not common. You're not going to be seeing those too often, right? And then games like BDSP have ways to get your shiny odds even higher. Like, I'm talking 1 in, I don't know. Also, why do we do that? Because I don't know. Because I'm not sure. But yeah, so like they have like games like BDSP have ways to get your shiny odds up to like 1 in 100, which is obviously fucking insane. However, to do that you have to beat the odds and get like a radar chain up to 40, which requires work and luck, the whole point behind shiny hunting. Um so, you know, it's kind of hard to do. You can do it and you'll get great shiny odds. You have to get there. Twisted Pair is fantastic. Guppy Soul is a Guppy item. So yeah, like you can get it. It's just it's rare, and you know, even with the 40 chain, you'll have to work for it, but you can get it pretty fast. In this game, you can get an outbreak by simply walking out and in of a place. So you can just get an outbreak. And what are the shiny odds in an outbreak, you may ask? Well, let's see. 1 in like 150. It's 1 in 4096 from normal shiny. It's 1 in 150. And now factor in the fact that you see 4 Pokemon at a time in an outbreak, just from the initial walk there. So once you get there, you're rolling 4 odds. Okay. Even if you had to soft reset that, that'd be fucking pretty disgusting. You'd get it pretty damn quickly. But on top of that, you usually get about 16 mons an encounter, like of a breakout. So, and how long does it take? I mean, that varies, right? Because it depends on what you're shiny hunting. Some things, literally, you can run up to them and then they'll disappear, or just spam balls at them. You can get through 16 in like a minute or two sometimes. Now, obviously, once again, sometimes that differs with oh, we had an eraser. Sometimes that differs because basically, oh, this is an awful room just when you have to charge because it's chocolate milk. I don't like chocolate milk, by the way. But yeah, sometimes that differs because you'll be getting like a Scyther, for instance. And Scyther has a really good aggro range and will always attack you. So you have to beat all the Scythers. That means engaging in battle. And if all 4 of them attack you at once, then that means you're going to attack once. Then you're going to have to wait through 3 Scyther attack animations. Then you can attack. Then you have to wait for 2. So it can take a while. But even that only takes like 3 or 4 minutes. For 4 rolls of 1 in 150. That is... Oh, that is it's disgusting. It is literally... Is this an Eternal D6? Oh, it is. I thought... Oh, we got Pepper. Yeah, I would like to put down the Pepper. Okay. But yeah, so like that is disgusting odds. To the point where... I know like someone in my Discord server, I won't name names, maybe they don't want their shiny odds leaked. I don't fucking know. But in 4 days, 16 shinies. That's 4 a day. That's pretty good. For me, 2 days, 10 shinies. That's 5 a day. And I'm not talking like a lot of hours put in either. I am really not. Have I put in some hours? Yeah, I have. But like not a ton. And in fact, spoiler alert, I will do a little circle dance when I'm done spoiling, but it is like I'll do this, right? But I am starting to spoil now. Okay, so for those of you who know, Scyther evolves into Cleaver using a certain item you find either on the ground or defeating Gravelers. It took me longer to find the item to evolve Scyther than it did to actually find a shiny Scyther. So it's like, I just don't get it. The shiny odds are disgusting, and that's only talking about outbreaks. Okay, well, if you don't want to do it, don't do outbreaks. Even if you just get a 10 mark completion on a Pokedex, which takes about 2 fucking seconds to do for any Pokemon, and is gonna happen. Even a 10 mark double shiny odds. in BDSP, and I'm using BDSP as a reference, by the way, because it's like one of the most recent games, and it's the only ones that I know that like all the odds for different scenarios. So I know there's other games with better scenarios and stuff, but like in BDSP, you can get double shiny odds as well. However, here's the thing. A, there's no overworld sprites, and the thing with overworld sprites is it makes encounters like 10 times faster because you don't have to fucking enter the battle. So A, there's no overworld sprites. B, you have to get 40 goddamn Diglets, which can take a few minutes, and then you only get like 3 or 4 minutes of shiny odds. But in this game, for the rest of time, for the rest of history, the second you get a Pokemon to Pokedex completion 10, and you like need to do that, by the way. Like you need to do that to unlock new Pokeballs and to progress in the story, I believe, with the story anyway. I'm not too far in, so I wouldn't know, but you know, you need to get the Pokedex completions. So then you're gonna increase your shiny odds, and already double odds is fucking that's pushing it. Like I'm like, okay, I can live with that, but you're gonna randomly find shinies pretty often now with that. But whatever. If you get 100% Pokedex completion, forever you get a 1 in 10 24 odds. And that's without a shiny charm, and that's not an outbreak, that is just random encounter odds. Do you understand how disgusting that is? That is what, 4 times odds? Like you get 4 times odds just for completing the little Pokedex. And yeah, that's something you have to manually do and put work into, so I'm glad they reward you for it. But like 4 times odds permanently with no other condition to it that's like really good shiny odds. It's to the point where I will just stumble, and obviously I hunt for them sometimes, and yes, I do still hunt for them even though I find it to be bullshit. But it's to the point where I will just be walking and bam, a shiny, and then oh bam, another shiny, and then you go to your outbreak, oh bam, a shiny, and like you're finding shinies left and right. And the entire point behind shinies is they are rare. Yes, there's also the point of they look cool, but like obviously if they were rare and didn't look cool, people would be pretty pissed. But they are rare, and that's completely fair. No one's, except for when it was like 1 in 8,000 and they bumped it to 4,000, that made sense. But no one's sitting here like, my god, I can't believe I can't get my shinies. This is so unfair. The game's like broken. I need this fixed. Nope. Like, the point of shinies being, okay, it's hard to get them, and if you have them, it's a bit of a flex. Now, if you have them, you're just normal. Like, that is just how it works. You're gonna find them as you play the game. And I find that to be... Okay. I find that to be so goddamn dumb. Also, this is the most normal modded run I've ever had. In fact, we only have one modded item. It is Guppy's Soul, which barely does anything. But yeah, so like... They took one of the biggest parts of Pokemon for longevity is shiny hunting, because you get this feeling whenever you get a shiny that's like, holy shit, this is the best day of my life, and you're super happy and you're ecstatic, and you will hunt for a while for that feeling. Now also, if you're one of the people that's like, well, I don't want to put all that time hunting a shiny, then you just shouldn't get a shiny. Like that's the whole thing. It's like, that's like saying, you know, oh, I don't want to put my time into getting a job. Well, then you're not gonna have money. It's the same principle. Obviously one's much more important, but like, you know, especially if you're like younger, let's say you're like 17, you might not need a job yet because you might not have a use for your money. Maybe, you know, you still live with your parents and they're fine with paying your bills, so you're fine. You don't need a job. You have the choice between getting money to buy extra stuff, but you don't need the job. Now, for getting a shiny, there's not a world in which you need a shiny, right? But if you want one, you could go get one if you put the work in. But it's not something that should just be handed to you for free, and that's the whole point. It's just supposed to be rare, and now that's taken away, and I feel like that is going to drastically reduce the longevity of Legends of Arceus for me. Like, I cannot see myself playing this in a year, because in a year I'll own like literally every goddamn shiny in the game, because you can just get like 5 a day. So if you can get 5 a day, no problem. In 1 year, I could get 1,500 shinies. Do you see the problem with that math now that I put it into like perspective? Like, people that have hundreds of shinies are like, dude, I'm like on top of the world. That's a lot of shinies. Now I'm talking mostly like full odds people, because like there's still Pokeradar and stuff, which could lead to like Pokeradar theoretically could lead to up to 5 shinies a day. However, at that point you're rolling the dice and getting lucky, because at any point it could break and you're not going to get that shiny for another few hours. So like, yeah, Pokeradar could theoretically be as good, but at the same time, if we're talking theoretically you could get 20 full odd shinies in a day. Like, that do be how it works, though. You know, like, you could get it, but the whole point is luck. So like I just don't see myself playing it in a year because in a year I'll probably have like all the shinies if I keep hunting, like genuinely all of them. This isn't like a oh no, by all of them I mean like most of them. No, like the only good part for hunting about Legends of Arceus is alpha hunt. So the fact that you can shiny hunt alpha Pokemon, that's the only good part. Other than that, I don't I don't really know. Like it doesn't matter. Like shinies don't matter. And if you're excited about getting shinies still in this game, that means you've probably only gotten a few. After like 3 or 4 shinies, it's just like okay. Like when I was in a call with my brother, we were both playing Arceus, right? I was screen sharing because I could, and we were both shiny hunting, and you know he got his shiny, who is he hunting? Stantler. And he was like, hell yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, he sounded a little excited. But then again, he spent a while hunting that Stantler because he was just getting super unlucky. So he sounded pretty excited. I get the Stantler, and I was like, okay, like, yay, I got the Stantler. There was barely any excitement. And then I go, and while I'm just, ooh, this is part of the mob we just recently got. Oh, this is like really good, but really bad. So it'll spawn 5 items on the ground. It's a single use only. It'll spawn 5 items on the ground, but then for the rest of the run, picking up an item gives an all stats down. I say we wait a little bit. We're gonna use this eventually, right? We could use it in a secret room, or we could use it in a devil room. I think the better option is to use it in the devil room. Like I think we'll just get we need things that'll carry us because after we do that, there's like no point in picking anything up. But yeah, so like on my way to the next hunt, just while I'm not even at the outbreak, it was an outbreak for like I forget who, you know, but like it wasn't Zubat is my point. On my way to that hunt, I found a random shiny wild Zubat. In any other game, if you were just like in Diamond and Pearl PvSP, right? If you're walking to a route to go do a radar chain, and you randomly encounter a shiny Pokemon, you will be ecstatic, right? You will be so goddamn happy, and you know that's true. Like you will lose it. I found a random encounter wild shiny, and it was 1 in 2048 odds, so it wasn't even that like I didn't have it 100%, right? It wasn't 1 in 10 whatever. It was 1 in 2048 or 1 in whatever it is, right? And I literally just said like out loud, like, oh, okay. And then I caught it. That was me getting the shiny. I literally, oh, we fucked that up hard. I forgot that we actually wanted something in there. But yeah, so like, that was the entire encounter with the shiny. It was just like, all right. Because, you know, I've gotten 10 in the past 2 goddamn days. 2 of them have just been random wild ones. Now 3 after that Zubat. There's nothing special behind it. And if there's nothing special behind it, why does it matter? Like, most shinies don't even look that good. There's a lot of shinies out there that don't look great. In fact, a lot of the ones I've got have been the ones that don't look great because I'm kind of just hunting whatever comes to me and says, hey, I want to be hunted. So, you know, it's like if they don't even look that great. Now, some do look great, to be fair. So, like, you'll be happy about getting those because you'll see it and go, damn, I'm so happy I got this. This looks so much better. But, like, most of them are either the same in terms of how good they look or worse or like there's the rare ones that are better, but a lot of them just aren't great. Especially if you're just gonna like if you're choosing your shinies ahead of time based on what they look like, you'll have a good chance to get something good. But I swear to God, if you just go start random encountering shinies, most of them won't look great. Like a green Zubat, some people probably love it. I don't. Pink Crobat, I think it is. It looks nice, but like green Zubat, I don't. I would rather have a regular Zubat, and that's saying something because I don't like Zubat. But you know, it's just the only good part about shinies is the fact that they are so goddamn rare, which makes them cool. But you take it away, and now I'm just finding shinies left and right, and it's to the point where like, and it got to the point where I literally was playing Omega Ruby, and keep in mind this was after I got no, was this before? No, I think this was before. I don't know, but like I got a random shiny in Omega Ruby, just Route 1 encounter when I started playing the game. So I started replaying through the game, and like. I can imagine that because like that was right before it. I remember I was pretty happy about that. I was gonna call my friend. I was like, oh, you know, that's fine, whatever. One of those moments. But like, I'm not kidding when I say I feel like if that happened today, ooh, the question is it right or left? I'm gonna go with left to be honest. The problem is, if that happened today, I probably wouldn't even be excited because I've seen so many goddamn shinies recently that we rolled the 50-50 ball wrong. But I've seen so many goddamn shinies recently that I feel like it's even gonna hurt how I feel about like getting a regular shiny. It's supposed to be really cool and rare. Like it is. You can't argue that. That's how it's supposed to feel, but it doesn't. Like it feels not special at all. So that's my 20-minute long rant about the biggest problem I have with Legends Arceus, which is just they took one of the most enjoyable parts of Pokemon for me, which is shinies. I mean, you know, I stream shiny hunts, right? Like I love shiny hunting. I think it's really fun, and I think the payoff is the best part. Like, do I like the physical process of sitting there soft resetting? No, of course I don't. That's not the fun part. And if you think that's what shiny hunting is, then you've clearly never shiny hunted, because shiny hunting isn't soft resetting and doing this. It's the shit that happens during it, and it's the feeling you get after it. Like during shiny hunting, we fucking ended up discovering taco milk and having that whole thing be a thing on Twitch. And you know, we had Olay, the meme, inspired on our Twitch channel as well. Like, we had a lot of funny moments, and I had a lot of great times while shiny hunting. We got the footage of me actually getting it, which was just so goddamn cool. Also, we've been going negative so much that I'm actually grabbing Polaroid. But it was like so goddamn cool. So much happened during the hunt, and I will always remember those hunts because of the amount that happened. I am not going to remember a single hunt from Arceus. Like, not a single goddamn one. Except maybe the Bidoof one, because I went incredibly over odds. The problem is, over odds was still quicker than a goddamn radar, like any radar hunt I've ever done in BDSP, and those were like the quickest shiny hunts I'd ever done. So, yeah, like, I think the whole point of shiny hunting is to remember the story. If you don't, you gotta learn to have fun while shiny hunting, because you gotta experience it with people, you gotta talk to your friends, or even just, like, physically do activities in real life while shiny hunting, because it doesn't take a lot of brain power to fucking shiny hunt and do something else, right? So I think if you just form memories while shiny hunting, that shiny just, it gets a lot more attached. Like, the Regice will always mean a ton to me. Right? Olay the Regice, who I haven't even nicknamed Olay yet, but I still remember his name is Olay because of how much I fucking loved that and adored that. Olay the Regice will always mean a ton to me. I was fucking showing off my chapstick on stream, and I was so busy looking at my chapstick and then reading chat that I didn't even notice the shiny pop up on screen. And it was just really damn cool. And I just think there won't be, like, and those not only are my favorite, like, shiny hunting moments, those are, like, my favorite Pokemon moments. Like, shiny hunting always spawns my favorite moments of Pokemon, and Arceus won't do that, which is a big upset. Anyway, I know I said 20 minutes of ranting, and then I changed it to 23, but truth be told, like, that's all I've been thinking about all morning, and it's like, if you don't believe, like, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, then I'm just gonna assume you've never, like, really shiny hunted, or you tried it once, like, went over odds a little, then went damn, or you tried it once and specifically said, damn, this is taking so long, or like, ugh, man, can't believe I haven't gotten it, or like, damn, this is so boring. If any of those things happen, then I feel like you just didn't really grasp the point of shiny hunting, and you treated it as like, all right, we got to do this. Like, we're just gonna do this and nothing else, and that's so against the point. And the whole point of shiny hunting, once again, is never about the shiny. In my opinion, it's really not. It's about the hunt. Like, of the shiny hunt, it's 2 words in a sentence. Of those 2 words, I think the more important one is hunt. There is no shiny hunting in this game. Hunting requires work, it requires time and patience. There's just shiny grinding. You can just grind out shinies like they're nothing in this game, and I think that's the biggest flaw. Okay, Binding of Isaac. I know we probably didn't hold a lot of the Isaac players' hearts close to this episode tonight, and I do apologize for that. But, you know, I needed to get that out there because, truthfully, I mean, Arceus has been, like, the thing I've been doing the most recently, right? So, like, I think it's just fair that I get to vent a little on my frustrations about the game. And the biggest one being, fuck the shinies. Like, it's so goddamn annoying, in my opinion. So, now we'll actually talk about something people relatively care about, Isaac. We are finally gonna use this item. So what it does is it spawns 5 items. Now, from now on in the run, we get all stats down every time we pick something up. So the question is, what here is worth picking up? I don't think it works with active items, so we should be fine here. Oh, it works with active items. It's a very small all stat sub. I think we take this because it's a continuous source of damage for the rest of the run. I feel snoppy. Great. And I think we take this because it's a speed and damage up, so like we'll get a tears down, but like, okay. Now we're here. Now how we're gonna get, now this was a horrible roll of it, by the way. Like it really was. But now we're gonna get the rest of our damage for the entire run from bad pills, basically. False PhD should be able to carry. I mean, our run's good enough to win, which is why I felt confident doing that. I think, honestly, that item is better in an Angel Room than a Devil Room. Devil Deal has so many bad items. It really does. Like, Angel Room has a lot, too, but the thing with Devil items is a lot of them are, like, have a little bit of this stat. And that's it. Well, with the Angel items, a lot of them are, like, here, have, like, a halo around you that protects you, or here, have this orbital that does this. And those are actually better than, like, small stat upgrades. Because, for the most part, like, with this stat debuff enabled, it makes it so small damage ups aren't worth it, right? Because if I get like a 1 damage up, realistically it's gonna be like a 0.3 damage up because of the damage, because like the all stats down, it's gonna be like a 0.3 damage up and the tiers down. So then all of a sudden it's like, well, did that even give me a DPS up, right? So I think Angel Rooms are better because like, what if you get Godhead, right? You don't even need the stats up from Godhead to make it worth it. And same thing with Sacred Heart, because Sacred Heart is a multiplier, which means it'll definitely even out in terms of giving you more damage, and it adds homing. What if you get Circle Protection? Well, that item is pretty freaking good. Guardian Angel. Is it worth the stat down? In my opinion, no, I would not take it. However, it's like still fine. I mean, it does something for you, and you know, and that effect won't get altered at all. Breath of Life. No. No. But you know, I just think the Angel pool is better than this, and I'm not thinking of the whole pool. And also keep in mind we're playing modded, which heavily impacts both fronts because we have 93 total mods installed, probably about 75 on right now. So like, you know, it's kind of one of those things where we're probably gonna like not know all the pools because, oh, why do we do that? Okay, I think that actually evened out somehow. Because don't forget, we can still get damage. That's the only stat we can get is damage. And now we're almost capped on fire rate, so we don't need fire rate anymore. Yeah, okay. I think honestly that was a much better choice. Like, we didn't mean to make that choice, but it was still a pretty good choice. Like, once again, it's just kind of because we can get damage, but we can't get anything else. And in fact, we're going to lose other things, because for that damage, we're going to have to take bad pills, so we're going to need stat down pills just to get damage. So, getting a tears up is probably good. But then again, we got an all stats down on top of that, so, like, we're still going to need to take stat down pills, which makes it... Oh, yeah, we have this mod on, so we can actually get that item for free, not that we want it. But, so we have Satan and the Devil Deal pool mod on. What this does, get this, it has a small chance to summon Satan and the Devil Deal. This is basically just a small fight you can go through, and if you win, you get the... Oh, later in the game, you actually have to fight his feet. That's actually really cool. If you're early game, you don't have to do this, but I guess late game you do. That's pretty nice. I like that. But yeah, it'll change it from a, like, you know, use hearts to buy to, like, just take damage to buy, which is much better. I think it's not too overpowered while still being pretty damn good. I do like it. Glad we got to see it. I kind of forgot about that. Also, we can bomb, like, Satan statues to get key pieces. I don't know how I already forgot about that. What's funny is that's coming up, and that mod is going to be showcased in a video later today, actually. Unless this comes out after. I haven't decided which order they're being released yet. But this one will probably go first, because I don't know what to do for the thumbnail or to name the other one. But I can figure this one out. Just name it Guy Rants About Shiny Odds in Arceus for 20 fucking minutes. You know, because I'm pretty sure everyone would be super interested in that. But yeah, if you made it through that entire rant, thank you. You're a cool person. I just, listen, like, genuinely, it might seem dumb, but Shiny Hunting is something I'm super passionate about. Because while I love Pokemon in general, Shiny Hunting is, like, one of my, like, biggest, I guess, hobbies. And it genuinely helps me, like, sort of, like, if you know, if I'm ever having a shit day, right, Shiny Hunting has always been the kind of thing where I can go and do it and immediately just kind of like get lost in it a little and enjoy myself, right? And just get distracted. Like, if you're having a shit day and you need a distraction, Shiny Hunting is always a good distraction for me for that. in Legends of Arceus, it just didn't. So it really just upsets me to see it become that. Also, I'm not sure if you could tell, but I said a lot more awake than yesterday, I think. I'm still tired, but like my sleep schedule is almost there. We're definitely working on it. I woke up. I want to wake up between 8 and 10 every day. I'd prefer around the 8 or 9 area because that would give me till like 10 to wake up, and around 10 I can start recording, finish up what I need to do by like 11:30ish, and then I can make lunch, and that'll be done around 10. And I think that works like genuinely very well. I think waking up at 8 works super well. Even 9 gives me an hour, and then I can probably be ready by 10. But if I wake up at 8, I can make breakfast and get ready by 10 for recording. But it's different and by breakfast I mean like toast or something, just to kind of, because believe it or not, because like, I didn't make breakfast today. I could have. I decided I wanted like a breakfast for a light lunch type situation, but now I might do ramen. I don't know, man. Do I do ramen or do I do? I think ramen might be better. I don't know. I'll have to think about it, but I think I just want. Dude, fuck off. You've been dead for years. Never do that again. Anyway. Yeah, I think I might do ramen, because at first I was just gonna do my basic eggs and shit, right? But I think I want ramen. It's lunchtime, right? So like ramen isn't totally weird. In fact, it makes more sense than breakfast right now, considering right now it's a little past 11. I'm trying to read the clock, but there's a goddamn cup in the way. Screw me for staying hydrated. It's 11:03. So it's a little too early for lunch, but let's be honest. You got about 10 minutes left in this run. Then I gotta render it. I'm not gonna render it. I'm gonna like make lunch while it's rendering. So realistically, this is, yeah, we're probably gonna be done at like 11:15, and then 11:20 I'll start cooking lunch. It takes 10 minutes. Yeah, 11:30 isn't a bad lunchtime, right? I'm not usually awake at this time, so I don't actually know what like I kind of forget, because I know like 12 is the standardized lunchtime in terms of like if you're talking about what time it is. But obviously some people vary a little, and I'm wondering like 11:30, that's like fair, right? That's not pushing it. Because if 12 is fine, then I'm gonna assume, I mean, I used to eat lunch at fucking, I used to eat breakfast at around 5, like almost 5 p.m. consistently. And then at lunch would be like a 8 p.m. to like 11 p.m. thing, and then dinner would be at like 5 a.m. sometimes. So like my eating schedule was definitely a lot worse before than it is now. I think no matter what, 11:30 is probably fine. But maybe not. Maybe 11:30 is like supposed to specifically not be lunch. Okay. Final floor of the game. I want to sip my coffee, but I also really don't want to. There's no way there's anything here worth losing in all stats for. If we had 9 volt, we could break the game with D7. The only problem is the break involves getting infinite items, and the problem with infinite items is that's infinite stat downs. So like in this situation, not the kind of game break I want to do. I mean, we could probably technically just like break the game without picking up any items until we got, I'm going to say it, okay? I'm just saying it would work in this situation. I'm not saying it would be good, but it would allow us to break the game effectively. In this one situation, we could technically break the game until we got rock bottom. But like that wouldn't even help us, because what would that accomplish? Like all rock bottom would do for us is allow us to break the game. But like when you're on the last floor of the game, the only time breaking the game is at all important is when you're going for an R key for a character you need unlocks for. Dead God. So, I'm not worried about that, considering we fucking have Dead God, and I don't need it. And even if this wasn't our Dead God save file, we are currently playing Eden, one of the first characters I finished, because Eden is one of the best characters in the game. Eden adds to the Isaac of Isaac, and I love it. And I'm not talking about, like, the Isaac of Isaac, like, the what's it called? The pole in the fucking Twitch Reloaded mod. Isaac, it is Isaac. Lived alone in a small Isaac on an Isaac. That one. Fuck you and everything you stand for. Another bright side is that we have Hallowed Ground, which I actually am a huge fan of. It's not an item I love typically, I think, because the poop is way too weak. I think there's a mod to fix that. But we might add that mod just because, like, this is modded. We're going crazy at this point. We're going to reach 100 mods soon. So, might as well, like, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna make us 20 times stronger if every once in a while when we find hallowed ground, which is You know, not the most common thing in the world. It just is a decent item now. I don't think that's gonna upset many people. Either way, I don't actually give a shit who I upset anymore. I want the mod pack to be fun, so I'm adding a bunch of small stuff here and there. I mean, you'll notice we have a stat multiplier mod now too. That was part of the whole 3 mod video that's either coming out later or already came out. And if you haven't watched it, you should totally go watch it. Or if it's not out, you should totally watch it when it drops. But yeah, like stat multiplier mod, which is pretty cool. Little green, listen, I need it. Okay, I understand all that did was make our run significantly worse. But look how cute he is, you know? Plus, he revives us on, as Keeper on death, which we do have a mod now that shows revives, so, like, that's decent, but, you know, it doesn't show it with modded revives, apparently, which is kind of upsetting. I wonder if there's a way to... get support for that, or if, like, he has to hard code in every single like revive thing up there. Let's try not to die because we are extremely like I didn't realize those were all rotten hearts, so I've been kind of throwing like a little extra hard. But let's just not die. We're gonna lose our hallowed ground, which is mighty unfortunate. That was actually giving me like a lot of faith that we couldn't lose until we lost the hallowed ground. Okay. Got a little scared there at the end, 100% because I was just throwing, but you know, still. Sorry about the literally over half of this episode being a rant. Oh, you know what? I did not restart my game before turning on my mods, which is why there weren't a ton of modded items and stuff. Oh, well. I recorded the video. It's going out. What can I say? It was a pretty vanilla run. That's because I'd done goofed. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Do whatever you please, and I will see you next time.